Hey YouTube! So today I have a review for you guys, and it is actually a compare and contrast on two very popular foundations here on YouTube, and they are the HD Makeup Forever foundation and the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. So, a little bit about my skin before I start. I like very full coverage foundations because I have very acne prone skin. I have very oily skin. I'm that person who they told either get Accutane or deal with it. And the way that I deal with it is through makeup. So, my whole life I've been looking for a really great foundation, and when I got older and I bought it for myself, I could actually afford these nicer ones, and the first one that I ever picked up was the Makeup Forever HD foundation. And first of all, I want to tell you, you should definitely go into Sephora and have them match your skin tone, because there's so many shades that I don't think looking online and comparing the color can really give you a true match. They are free to do, like, go into Sephora, it's free, like I'm saying, and get them to match you. I know it's a little intimidating. I feel the same way. The people that work there are always so, like, pretty. I'm like, oh, God. But they're really nice about it. They just kind of put a few swatches of each color on your face and see which one looks best. And I was actually in the shade N120, which surprised me because it said I had yellow undertones to my skin, which is something that I never really even knew or realized. So I'm glad I actually went in and had them do that. They also recommended a good primer, which I'll tell you with any foundation is definitely a must. I bought, I think, the whole kit at the time. I got the, like, elixir, the HD powder, and whatever else they had for it. And I'll tell you, neither of those things makes the foundation work better or worse, in my opinion. I think they're just extra add-ons that they want to have you buy, which is fine. I'm a salesperson. I understand that. So definitely any foundation, just get a good primer. Right now I'm using the Laura Mercier, and I really like this one. So just a tip there. So the one bad thing about the Makeup Forever foundation is I don't feel it's really a full coverage foundation. When you put it on, the first layer, you can still see all your acne marks, redness, and I always follow it up with the Kat Von D Tattoo Concealer. I love this stuff. I've been using it for over a year, I'm sure, and I use it with no matter what foundation I have. So, like I said, I put on this layer and it still doesn't look covered, which is very frustrating when you spend $40 on a foundation that you expect to look good, and then you just need to use more and more and more of it. The good thing is, once you do get it perfected with your concealer, your powder, a lot of people have complimented me on my skin and said, hey, how do you get your skin so great? And I'm like, oh, it's not great, it's the makeup, which is always a good thing. And it doesn't look like a mask, it looks natural, it looks like you have makeup on, but it's not in a bad way. I always just use a sponge that I got from Target. It's like these little wedges that you just use a different one every day. I think that's best for my skin, to use clean stuff every single day, so that's what I use to put it on. So, you know, the one other thing about it is I would go to work, I have a regular job, and I would work 8 to 9 hours, get off, and then all the foundation has melted off of my skin, and I'm like, I know I put it on this morning, where is it? So I think it's just that my skin is so oily that it would melt off, and it just didn't stand up to my skin even with a primer and a powder on, which is very frustrating. So I kind of just was ready to give up on it, and then the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation came out, and I really loved the concealer, so I was like, let's just go ahead and try it. And I kind of went on a whim, like I was telling you, get matched on this one. I kind of didn't listen to my own advice, and I bought the the Lock-It foundation off Sephora.com, and I just kind of matched these two together, and I said, yeah, it looks pretty close, and I went with the lightest one, I believe, because I'm pretty pale. The downside to that is there's not as many shades as the Makeup Forever, so it's not a perfect match like the other one, but I still think it looks pretty good, and it is a much better covering foundation than the Makeup Forever. I only need one layer of the Kat Von D, and it actually covers up some redness underneath your nose, it covers up some acne, so you can use less concealer, which is what a foundation is supposed to do anyways, and I think it looks very natural still. I don't think it looks like a mask. It blends in very well. It's not heavy. I don't feel like, oh my god, my face is full of foundation. So that's always good. And like, again, I use the same primer, the same powder. I use, let's see, It's like this tart powder. It's translucent. I just put it all over, and then throughout the day, if I need more, I just, kind of go like this and get rid of some of the shine. So definitely, if you're in the market for either of these, the Makeup Forever is not bad, but for people who have more acne prone and oily prone skin and are looking for something that's not going to melt off their skin throughout the day, the Kat Von D is the way to go. It actually lasts longer, like I'm saying. They're both 1 ounce each, but the fact that you need less is always a plus, especially when you're spending that much money on foundation. I mean, $40 is just kind of, it hurts my heart every time I pay for it. But like I said, if you find something good that works for you, then no matter how much it costs, it's worth it. So if you guys have any questions about either of these foundations, I'd be happy to answer them for you. Leave it in the comment box below. But if not, I will see you guys in my next video.